finally, after my third IVF, and mind you, this is after I made the very difficult decision of leaving my job.
Oh.
Yeah. The same day that I resigned was the same day that my boss wanted to give me like a promotion.
What?
Yeah. But luckily, I gave him the letter first. So
because you might
had to keep the letter.
Okay.
Hi everyone, welcome to this episode of Clean Your Toilet podcast. My name is Rafidah. I am a volunteer. I am also a treasurer as well as the director of Fertility Support Singapore. And I'm really happy to be here. And today we have Ben joining us. Hi, Ben.
Hello, nice to meet you.
Hi.
So, hi guys, I'm Ben. Also known as the Smiling Afro. My nickname. Yeah, and also my Instagram, my social media name. I'm a full-time content creator. And I also do hosting and acting. So I've always loved being in the media scene. Basically anywhere I can tell stories and I have some laughs.
Amazing. This is like, when you ask kids these days, what do they want to be when they grow up?
Yeah.
I want to be a content creator.
Yeah, it hurts me as a content creator because don't come and dilute my market.
You have competition coming. Actually, in my day job, I am a content creator as well.
Nice.
So I actually create STEM videos for kids.
Oh.
Yeah. So my character that I put on has pink hair. So that's why I was asking about your hair just now.
Nice.
So,
Fun fact, a lot of people think I become a character. Like, because I think it's very Asian Chinese face, right? So a lot of people, I think 70% of Singaporeans still think I wear a wig to do videos and that I never wear it out. So when they see me on the street, they think, oh, he's in character. He must be doing a video somewhere.
Okay, for the audiences and listeners, I can assure you, it looks real.
It looks real and it's real, but that's it. No matter how many times I can go on video and say it, people won't believe lah. They say, this guy is still in character.
Like, how old are you? You look pretty young.
Oh, how old do you think I look? I am. How old do you think I am?
20s?
Thank you very much. It's an Asian blessing. I'm 34.
Okay. So which stage of your life are you at now?
Midlife crisis. No. I've been running my business for 7 years. So I would say that I'm in my prime in terms of like growing my business and really trying to a sustainable career, yes, but really building and growing so that I can have nicer things in life.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so today we are going to be talking about a very interesting topic. It's called the shadows of relationships, right?
Nice.
Yeah, so we both seem to be quite cheery people, but we're going to talk about some deep stuff, it seems.
Oh, so where the cheeriness comes from? The deep, dark stuff. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, I actually like this quote that says, you can only see and recognize light after you've been through the darkness, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And fun fact, I'm a very strong believer of yin-yang. I remember when I was very young, I first read about it and understood it, and I believed it. I always believed that I cannot understand joy without sadness. I don't know how to be happy without being sad. So I always feel that my life now, I believe in the balance. There will be suffering, there will be challenges, but there also will be times where I can reap the benefits. That's
really enlightening to hear, because for me, I am scared of the darkness. Sometimes when I'm super happy, I would actually tell my husbands or friends, oh, something bad is going to happen. Because when
it's the balanced life.
Correct. When things seem to go great in life, they can only go down, right? You can't unless it gets even brighter. So it's a really positive spin that you've got.
But you know what? That's a very good point you just made. It feels like a movie scene right now. When a scene where someone's so happy, and then when you realize things are going well, that means something bad is going to happen soon, just to balance it all out. Then you're like,
Yeah, but from your response earlier, it sounds like you embrace. You're okay to embrace
I feel that challenges are meant to happen, sadness and things happen. So I actually, for longest time, since maybe when I was like 20, 21, I stopped asking myself, why is this happening to me? Or more like, okay, what do I need to do now to get through this?
Wow.
Yeah, but younger days, teenagers, everything, when anything bad happen, oh my God, why is it happening to me?
Yeah.
Why is it so bad luck? Why? But
Yeah.
bad things happen to everyone, challenges, whatever, right? So, yeah.
It's a good, because I have 3 kids.
Wow.
And I went through a very, typical Singaporean stressful childhood, right? And I think what you just said is very good, self-management. Like you don't rely on external forces to make you happy again.
Yeah. I think like how it's from I think for essentially maybe I say for the base is how my mom brought me up, right? Because my mom grew up very poor. She grew up in the kampong, and she was. My grandfather passed away when she was 15, so that was like the sole breadwinner of the house, right? Suddenly now, she has to quit school and go to work and everything. So she, I think from a very young age, realized that, there's no point making any excuses in life. She still has to go to work. She had no time to really process like everything. No, it's like, no, I have to get out of this rut, right? So I think growing up, when I was born, everything, she taught me, try to impart it to me, like, hey, no one's going to help you in life. No point making excuses. Things are going to happen. No matter what you do, you cannot run away from problems.
Yeah.
So when they come, you just have to be ready and you go and handle it. You don't go and come crashing down. Yeah, and because I've witnessed my mom, that's the way she looked at life, right? Every time a problem, she will fix. What happened? No, we handle it. Don't crash, don't crumble. So I think that's why that's my base of growing up and then figuring out myself, and like now in my life, especially as a business owner, everything.
Yeah. That's it's a very interesting perspective, because it sounds like I can't swear, but like bad stuff, shit's gonna happen.
Okay. Yes.
But it's when is it gonna happen and how you, but it's totally opposite for me. For me, It's like, I'm gonna try my best to make sure that shit doesn't happen.
Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna try my best to control. Whereas you are more like,
I see.
Okay, it's gonna happen, and I'm more mentally prepared for.
Right. Which we got me thinking a lot about that. Very fun. Yeah, you're having a great time. I'm like, okay, no, something's gonna happen, so I'm gonna make sure it doesn't happen. We're gonna defense mode. Make sure.
Okay.
But since when have you felt that way? Like,
I just feel maybe I'm a controlling person. I believe that effort equals to reward, or maybe as we grew up in the Singapore environment, we were always taught that you put in X amount of effort, you'll get X amount of reward, right? And so when the first time that I felt like I wasn't in control was when I was 31, and I had to go through IVF.
Right.
Yeah, so I was still like kind of rising up in my job, and everything was going well. Everything was very happy. And then, that thought about like the darkness and the shadows coming in, sometimes you are not expecting it. So while we were trying to have a baby, you're still very young, you might not be able to relate to this. But yeah, I mean, if you're ever thinking of having a baby. So we found out that we had male infertility. So the doctor told us, look, the only way you're going to have a kid is if you go through IVF. Are you familiar with IVF?
Little bit, yeah.
Yeah, so it's they call it the assisted reproductive treatment, whereby they will help you along the way to have a baby. It's the more invasive. The more invasive version of ARTs out there. So we were just kind of thrown into the world of IVF with no research or whatever. But through the whole journey was when I felt like, okay, for the first time in my life, I cannot control the outcome. The first IVF went very well. I think it's because I was very young. But then the second, third, fourth IVF were difficult, because at the time I wanted to grow the family. And I think I was a little bit overconfident maybe because the first one worked so easily.
Right.
But then even though it was only 2 years later, it became a lot more difficult. And then when I got the call from the nurse that, oh, I'm sorry, the cycle didn't succeed. Yeah, I'm getting PTSD flashbacks. Yeah, it was like, like my whole world crumbled. Like I could, like the Matrix or the Inception movie where the thing came down. And I'm like, but why? Like I did everything I was supposed to do. I planned, I did A, B, C, D that the doctor said, and I did EFG as well. So how can this be? Back to the like you apparently in IVF you can do everything, but at the end of the day you still have to leave it all up to
fate.
To the
destiny.
Yes, to the moons and the suns
the universe
yeah, correct. So it was for me, I think because I've tried so hard to control the shadows in my life in the past, when this shadow came about and I wasn't able to control it, I think that was what broke me.
Right. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. How about you? Like, if I were to say the word shadow, what would be the first experience or memory that comes to your mind?
Oh, great question. I mean,
don't think.
Like, it's complicated, right? Like, I've used the word shadow many times in references, positive and negative. Like shadow of my former self. Like that sounds negative, right? It's like, oh, you're not the same person anymore. But I've also used it in a positive sense where like shadow meaning being present in terms of like relationships. Yeah, like if someone has a shadow, means they're living, they're alive, they're there. So when light shines, they're there. But if you don't have a shadow, but your body is there, then are you saying you're not present? It's just kind of like not there, but yet not there, right? Yeah. So shadow to me, when it comes, is really about human presence. Like that, it's like just being present. Yeah.
It sounds like, that philosopher. I took philosophy, one module of philosophy.
Nice.
And I couldn't understand it, but I remember this quote, like, I think, therefore I am, right?
Oh, right.
Yeah, so it sounds like for you, life is, shadows is kind of like a proof of life.
Yeah.
Right?
It's like, because there's also some horror movies where fighting vampires don't have shadows or something like that, because they're not alive, right?
What we do in the shadows. Yeah.
So there's for me, like, I mean, I guess, okay, because you shared about your experience, right? So that's like the shadow that you say of your life that you couldn't control. Which brings me back to, I'm just trying to think of the shadows of my life which I couldn't control. It's probably the death of my mum, right? I think that's like the biggest shadow in a young age for me. It was like 14 years ago, where I couldn't control, and that actually helped me realize more about life. Because at that point of time, there was nothing really much in my life I didn't really have control of, lah. Like, study bad results. I was in full control, lah. There was no lack of control. It's just that I didn't want to.
Yeah, it's like you didn't play any part in your. Yeah, but it happened. Yeah.
So that was trying to understand life and understand things that I cannot control, and like understanding my emotions, and like, wow, because I think it was really the first shadow in my life that I couldn't do anything, right?
And you were so young.
20, just about 20, before I turned 21, right? So it was something where I just couldn't, like, my emotions were all over the place. Because usually I'm in control. Usually I can, I can choose to be upset, choose to be sad. I'll choose to be happy. But for this one, I can't choose anything. I'm going to be unhappy for that long time. And it's just knowing if I choose happiness, it's pretending. It's like, I can't, right? Yeah. So, gosh. But yeah, and how did you, per se, get out of that? Like,
that was actually my next question to you.
Yes.
But I can share mine first. Before coming to this, I was thinking, actually, how did I get out of that shadow? Because it seemed to be so I always say that going through IVF is like going through this huge, uncertain and treacherous water. Everything is so uncertain. You don't know what's the end game. I even considered going to like fortune tellers to tell me, can you just tell me, am I going to have a kid or not?
Right.
Am I going to be able to give my son a sibling or not? And I was so not used to that. And I just wanted to know, should I continue with this journey? Because, you can imagine how complicated each cycle is. And to go through that for 5 years, I don't know, should I give up or should I continue on? And I think the thing that broke me was when finally after my third IVF, and mind you, this is after I made the very difficult decision of leaving my job.
Oh.
Yeah. The same day that I resigned was the same day that my boss wanted to give me like a promotion.
What?
Yeah. But luckily I gave him the letter first. So
because
he
you might
to keep the letter.
Okay. Because if he gave it first, you might have like,
yeah.
okay.
But I think at that point my mind was already made up. But it was a very, very difficult decision. And I never thought that I would be I'm such a career-focused person and I'm such a competitive person that I never thought that I would make that. But I think what happened was that my goal changed. My goal went from being, I want to be like the highest position there is to I want to have kid number 2.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, so
That's
because
beautiful,
the goal changed, I was able to make that decision very easily. So anyway, back to the biggest shadow that came across in the waters, right? Imagine you already quit your job, you've already sacrificed everything that you've worked for, you went through a few cycles, still didn't succeed, and then you finally succeed, and then you hear the words from the doctor, oh, I'm sorry, there's no heartbeat there. Yeah, so I remembered I was on the I was lying on the table and I literally jerked up like, what? And so we lost the baby at 8 weeks, and that was really the breaking straw for me. So like when you were telling me about your mom and obviously the grief that you're going through, I would say that would be my, grief about not being able to have a baby is one thing, but grieving over a baby that could have been is like a completely
different thing, right?
Yeah. So that was the lowest depths of the ocean that I had to get out of. I think the person that I was struggling with was my own shadows. Like I was creating my own shadows.
Right.
I was creating that. I was fighting myself. There was nobody else in the world that expected me to have a baby. It was my own expectation. And it was this shadow that was telling me, you have to be like, you've set out this goal, so go and get this goal out. You've already quit your job, so now you have to show something for it. And I didn't have anything to show for it. Yeah. So anyways, what helped me was I sought out therapy. I told my doctor I need professional help because there was one night where I told my husband I want to jump down. I want to and then because we were staying at the second floor at that time, my husband told me, you jump down so you will only break your leg. So please let's seek help. I think that's a man's way of coping with.
Yeah, you want to jump down. I mean,
but not to make light of the whole thing.
Yes.
But I really felt like I cannot control the outcome of my IVF cycles. I finally got what I wanted and then I lost it. I was super upset with God because I was thinking, why did you give me something that you are going to take away from me? What is this cruel game that you're playing? Are you effing kidding me? After all this, and then you take it away. And then So to your answer, I think the thing that helped me the most was professional help, seeing a psychiatrist, seeing a therapist. And I'm very lucky to have gotten that help that I needed, because when I saw the psychiatrist for the first time, I told her, I'm seeing you not because I don't want to kill myself. Yeah, partly because I don't want to kill myself, but also I want to have the strength to do my next cycle, because I don't want to give up. I still want to have another kid. So can you just help me, give me whatever you need and give me the therapy that you need to get me across the next IVF cycle, so that I can still be there for my family, so that I don't kill myself, so that I can still continue on this. Yeah. But I can't imagine going through loss at the age of 20.
Yeah, 20, yeah.
Because I was already an adult at the time. I could and I had the resources to pay for a therapist and stuff.
Yeah.
So how did you get out of that? That must have been quite a journey.
Yeah, so like you said, that was my deep water, right? That was me suddenly fallen deep into this ocean and then stuck way below.
Yeah.
Struggling to come out, right? And what I like what you shared just now about the shadow was basically yourself, you're fighting with yourself, your shadow, which I think is so a great interpretation and me looking at it and which I can relate. So I was in constant internal battle of questions. It was all about a lot of questions about life. My mom's gone. I had all this imagination of what life would be. She'll see me next time, graduate, get married, whatever, grandkids, or all these things. That was dark thoughts every night. Every night for almost about maybe 9 months or so, right? So it's just constant battle. And I wouldn't say I was trying to find a way out early on. I think I was just, I was going to school still. I was going to meet friends, everything, but it felt like a very soulless body. I was present physically, but I didn't feel anything inside. What's a lot of what is it worth it or not? What's the point of life really? Or is it worth it, right? Yeah, but ironically,
was your dad around? Sorry if
he works overseas, so he was in and out.
Okay.
Yeah, but he also was going through his own grief, so it didn't help, right? It's just bad energy.
So who was taking care of you?
My aunt, my dad's sisters moved in to look after us lah.
Okay.
Yeah, temporarily lah. Adult figure basically.
Yeah.
But also I wasn't close to my aunts at that time.
Yeah.
Because they were once a year, the kind of thing, Chinese New Year, I see them once.
Yeah, correct.
And then decided to help out since my mom passed away and then my dad works overseas, so it just needed some adult at home.
Yeah.
But I wasn't close enough with them to really
Yeah, so you were still dealing with.
Yeah. And a lot of friends who I know they don't understand because they didn't lose their parent, right? And everyone will everything will be fine. Which also didn't help because I'm you don't know. I said, how do you know? You don't know. You don't know my life right now, right? So everything's gonna be fine. Everything happens for a reason and all the standard template.
Yeah.
Which is nonsense lah, I feel. Of course everything happens for a reason. My mom had aneurysm. That's the reason. That's why she died. And same thing, everyone's, God has his plan for you. I'm so this is a great plan, right? Take my mother away from me when I'm 20, 3 weeks shy of my 21st birthday. So that's the plan. So I said, don't tell me all these things. So it actually made it worse, right? Yeah, but ironically, it's also due to my religious background where I found a way out suddenly. It was, I've shared this many times before actually, is I was brushing my teeth one day and I looked in the mirror and then it hit me that I'm an image of my mother because I came from my mother and she raised me, right? So I'm her. I'm there. I'm staring at her, and it's my duty to carry on her love and all the life skills she empowered me by carry on my life and going to be the best I can be because she always said she wants me to be the best I can be, right? So I need to honor that and get out of this rut and know that I will never get over my mother dying because why would I? She's my mom, right? But to live with the fact that she's not around physically, but she's still present. And so that when I accepted that, I remember I felt myself slowly floating out of the water, you can say that, And now looking back about these shadows and everything, and what you mentioned about you're fighting with yourself. And it's your shadow, right? I'm like, yeah, I think that part of me during that 9 months depression, right, will always be a shadow of me. It will always be my shadow. It's there. Because it was me, it was what I experienced, and it's still my shadow now. But that's what is reminding me is my foundation of like where I came, how I put out, and now the view of life I have about death, about spirituality, and the fact that my mom is with me still. Yeah. So
I
that's
think, like your story really like teared me up. First of all, I'm sorry you had to go through that at such a young age. When you were saying some about the plans that you were making with your mom, that just like got me, because I can't imagine how that must have felt. You have not even gone through the major milestones that you wanted your mom to be proud of, and she was gone too soon. And I can totally relate about. I'm glad that your spirituality, your religion helped you. In a way, for me, I'm not a super religious person, but I am spiritual and I try to be a good Muslim. And even though I kind of lost my faith, or at one point despised God for taking away my baby, I think it was also religion that kind of saved me again, because you slowly like, you had this anchor, and then you're like, okay, slowly swimming. But actually the being that was next to you is actually God. And he's the one who brings you back as well. And then the part that you said about people not understanding, even though they mean well, but maybe they don't know what the right... Because at that time, I don't think there's anything right that anyone could have said to us that would have helped, right?
Yeah.
The only thing that could have helped is probably give me back my mom, or give me back...
Yeah, or just what I wanted was simply, I'm here for you.
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah.
I don't need any advice.
Yes, correct. Yeah. And for sure, like your friends it's one of those things that you wouldn't know how I feel unless you've gone through it yourself. And you being a young boy, probably like not a lot of your friends have gone through the situation with you. And similar to you, like on the outside, you're this very happy guy, and on the outside, I'm this like power woman walking into the office, listening to like blasting music and like being a boss babe, right? But inside was a completely different story. Like for 5 years, I was quite senior in the bank, and I was projecting this aura of confidence and I want to be like top performer and all that. But deep inside, behind they see that persona on the outside, and but they didn't know that for that 5 years, I was quietly doing IVF in the background.
Right.
Yeah. And I couldn't talk to anyone about it, and I was lucky, like unlike you, I knew people who were also quietly going through their journeys, so they understand. But then you have that one person at the pantry that says, I got pregnant again. It was an accident. And here you are like trying your best. The only thing that you want is to have a baby, and then you hear this person complaining about getting pregnant. It was and then you have to hide it because you don't want the whole world to know that you're going through IVF. I only told the people who needed to know, but it's a very silent struggle. Imagine you walking down the street. People didn't know that you just lost your mom, for example, and they see this like happy demeanor. So I just wanted to say that I relate to that.
Yeah.
And when were you, like, when did you find yourself ready to talk about that shadow?
Wow. Probably the following year. Because it's still, the rough time period of my so-called drowning in the ocean was about 9 months. which ironically is about the time a baby comes out. But yeah, I felt like reborn.
It was a pregnancy
like,
of
yeah,
you're
the
right.
rebirth,
I love that.
I was being reborn, I feel in myself, like life again, because since being born at 20, there's nothing really much dark until my mom passed. That was really a punch in the face, right? Punch in the heart, punch in the soul. So it was really enough 9 months where I felt I came out of it, right? Suddenly after all the realizations about life. And I think not long later, about maybe half a year later, I was more than happy to be, when people ask me, and just be very honest about what I went through, how I've been going through, and how I've chosen to accept it, and how I view life and death now. It's all about going back to the point of control, right? Like accepting that not a lot of things in life I can actually control. But knowing and realizing that I can control how I react. I can control what I do with it myself, right? So at that point, I said, so now I couldn't control my mom's death, but now I decide that I would live with it and let it be a part of me, and it will shape me for the future. So
actually, when you talked about like that realization you had in the mirror, there's this line from movie, I don't know what movie, but it was more like, she lives in you, right?
Yes.
You, not just like, sure, physically you have her traits, probably the hair.
Oh no, hair's for my dad's side.
Wow, so unique.
Yeah.
But like other than the physical part, like she lives in you, right? She is a part of you. And it's when you started sharing your story with people, did you realize, actually, was there anything surprising that came from that?
I would say that every time I share my story, especially the early days, right, I always feel a different, powered up again. Like a reassurance of my choice, reassurance of like what I went through. And like basically proud of myself. Like, you know what, I am glad I got out. Like, I could have still for 10 years, just floated and then not doing anything in life. Not doing anything in my life. Just use the being upset as an excuse to. That's why I'm just like that.
You could have
and then,
just
slumped.
deeper,
I could slumped and just been floating now. And I don't think my mom would have wanted that also. She would have been very sad if I did that. So
it's just like one of the things that got me through letting go of my baby was doing this like meditation practice, and I kind of imagined sending her off on a boat.
That scene.
Yeah, and like when you said that, it's just sometimes I wonder whether the baby is looking at what I'm doing today and like being happy that I was able to eventually succeed, and like seeing what his or her brothers, sisters are doing.
Yeah. I guess that in itself is a shadow, right? Like I said, a shadow of my mom, a shadow of your baby, that we sometimes wonder that,
it's the question
wonder,
of mortality, right? Like, what are they still around?
Yeah, and it's always the question that you just said, what would they think? Or what would they have become?
Yeah. Were you very, very close to your mom?
Yeah. Because I was firstborn, eldest son. So mommy's boy lah. Then she taught me a lot about life. Basically, she wanted, I guess, the eldest say it's the first experiment, right? So she really was like, she was
I can tell you from a mother's experience, firstborn is different. They get different, like VIP level is different. Because she has gone through her first everything when it comes to parenting was with you.
Yes. Yeah. So like all the mistakes also I kinda lah. Like, so
good and bad. You gotta be the good and bad.
And then So my second, my sister got it the more like the 2.0 parental treatment.
But also maybe she gets a little bit more leeway, but she also probably doesn't get that first
exactly. And then by the time it comes to my brother, he gets the most leeway lah. Right. Then I'm like, he's good life, So
you were also the elder, so it's probably you also probably had to show your siblings how to grieve.
Yeah, because my mom because I was the eldest, right? So and because she lost her father, my grandpa, when she was 15, so she understood
the same age,
grief and she accepted life and death long time ago. Right. So she told me since I turned 18, she's like, okay, you're an adult now. We need to talk about really serious, real stuff. And she always said to me, listen, you're the eldest. If in case mom and dad not around suddenly, anything happen in life, you need to look after your siblings. You need to carry the family because you're the eldest. I'm sorry, that's the fact. You are born first. You couldn't choose that, and you have responsibilities. And I always tell Mom, don't talk to me about death lah. You don't talk to me about death. But every year, so 18, 19, 20, she will always tell me during my birthday, okay, so now, you're 18, 19, 20 years old. Okay, remember your responsibilities, anything can happen. And then especially every time we go for like relatives' funeral, she always say, see your life short. Anything happen, are you ready? Are you ready? Yes, grief, you need to grieve, but are you ready to be responsible? So it kind of hit me. So on the day she passed, right, when I was at the hospital, and then the news broke out, and then the chaos, everything, then it just hit me. I have a responsibility. I need to go call my sister. I need to pick up my brother. I need to tell my father to come back from Bangkok. I need to.
You were the one who had to break the news to them?
I wrote the news to my brother, younger brother.
Oh my goodness.
So then my dad, of course, knew from relatives, but like, okay, right now I need to go and tell all the relatives. I need to make arrangements for the funeral, everything.
Because you were here, your dad was overseas.
And I know the places to go for the contact, etc., undertaker, all. So, yeah, and then I realized, and then it was my turn to grieve after the whole funeral was done. Then I got my turn to grieve. But I'm also proud that my mom said, hey, you had to be responsible.
You know what? I think your mom taught you something that is very difficult to. She taught you resilience, right?
Yeah.
She taught you to be ready. And that's something that a lot of people like pampered, and I'm not saying like financially pampered, but I grew up in a very, I would say very privileged environment where I had two parents, we had a roof over our head, we had food every day. Sometimes people like us, we are not really ready for such things. And I think the words that comes to you, like when you hear her voice, is like she's just reminding you, jayo, just be resilient. And when I was thinking about my journey as well, when you asked me what got me out of it, okay, not to sound, pompous or whatever, but I really do think that I'm so glad I did not give up. And I'm sure you are so glad that you did not fall into the depths of the ocean and go into like a few years of depression, right? I mean, I went through that depression stage when I lost my child as well. And like, I'm just so glad because the next cycle that I did after the miscarriage, we were blessed with twins.
Oh, so that's how the 3 kids total.
Yes. So it's like, wow. Then my mom's voice also came in my head. She always tell me, in Malay lah, but she always tell me, when something is taken away from you, you'll get he will give you something a lot more in return. And like I was like, oh wow, it's like, yes, you took something from me, but the blessings was like more than I could ever imagine. And imagine if I had given up, then I would not have my twins and I would not have been able to. So when you're going through that, you might not realize that you're being resilient. But actually, if you look back at it, I'm like, oh, actually, I was quite resilient. I was quite focused on my goal of of growing my family. What was the thing that made you wake up every day and made you like, was it your mom's voice or your religion or what? Because for me, the goal was very clear. I want another kid. That was my goal. Like my KPI is very like clear. But for you, you were 20 years old. You had nothing to.
Yeah, there was no goal. I didn't even have the goal in mind. Like, okay, I want to wake up one day and be okay with everything. Because I was just lost, right? I was just lost on like life. I didn't even know I was searching for something. I didn't even know what I was searching for. I was looking. I don't even know. Am I looking to get out of this? Or am I looking for a life purpose anymore? What am I looking for? I don't know. I just went around life. I still went to church, everything, just to figure out things. And yeah, it's more like only after the realization on like what life is and the beauty of like my mom's image and everything. And that's when later on I decided, okay, so my life purpose is to be the best I can, right? And that's what gets me up every morning.
To make her proud.
Yeah, to make her proud.
Wow.
And also to do myself proud and to stop, making excuses for myself, and to be the best I can, right? And in this short time, right, on earth, as long as I can, just to, be happy and fulfill my
I can totally relate to that. I think it's the word that comes to mind is the desire. Your desire to be excellent at what you do, and your desire to make your mom proud is probably, from what I'm hearing, that's what kept you going,
Yes.
Because it's really not, I can't imagine being at 20 and then not having a formal support structure and actually picking yourself up.
Exactly. From someone, the structure or the formal structure was looking after me basically 20 years, right?
Yeah, correct.
And then in my imagination, it'll be for another don't know how many years more, right? Like until grandkids, until I give her grandkids, right? And then, so it's a lot of like reframing my mind, and so this is a new life, this is the new norm.
Yeah.
And it will probably change again constantly throughout life because life is so unpredictable but move forward.
Perhaps that desire is what drove our resilience.
Yes, I
because
think so too.
For me, my desire was I will do IVF for 20, 30 years if I have to, for like 10, 20 rounds until either I succeed or my doctor tells me, hey, you cannot do already. So I was telling myself, okay, my desire was so strong.
Fight
and
to the
honestly,
end.
Ben, if people in our community, because Fertility Support Singapore is a charity. So we are completely volunteer run in terms of our day-to-day work. And we currently have about 9,000 over members who are also going through infertility.
Wow.
And I say this because that's why a lot of the times when I share my story, I realize that actually when I talk to these women and men, the desire and the want that they have to have kids is so strong. You imagine you want to have a kid and you just can't, and then you go out on the street and all you can see are families, all you can see are pregnant women all around you. And I really feel for them, and that's why when I got out of my ocean, I managed to tread water, and then when I managed to swim again, that's why I decided, okay, I want to volunteer for this community because,
it's beautiful,
first of all, they were one of the pages that I was following that helped me gain support. I met people there who were successful at the depths of my ocean, and because they were successful, they gave me the hope that, okay, maybe I can also be successful. I can also have a kid. Maybe if I continue trying, if she can do it, then maybe I can do it. And that's kind of what we try to do with our voices. We are not trying to rub it in people's faces that, hey, I was successful, but we are trying to because there are part of our team, there are people who are still trying, there are people who are still struggling, right? But when I talk to the members, it's really, I really feel I wish I could help them, but there's no way that you can help them. I don't know whether you have had experiences have people come up to you and talk. I don't know how open you've been about your loss, but have people come up to you and say, hey, I relate to your story, or...
Wow, actually now that you mention it, not many. Because I guess the time frame of when she passed when I was 20.
And also maybe you are not so vocal about it. I don't
I am when people ask.
Okay.
If people ask, I will share.
Yeah.
I don't usually spontaneously just bring up my mom's death, right? Because I know some people
triggered and all that. Yeah.
Very deep. It's too much for them to take, right? Yeah. So unless they ask or what inspired you or how are you here today, how do you become this? How I view life? You say, oh, well, it's because of certain things that happen. Yeah. Yeah.
That's why, like, for when we meet a lot of our members, for them, it's the first time that they're meeting someone who has also gone through IUI or IVF.
Wow, okay.
So it's very powerful for them because, like what you said, like they may have friends around them, they may have family members that say, "I'm here for you," or or give you all the cliched words, but imagine at that time if you were to also meet your peer who is also going through that same thing. The feeling is just different when I'm talking to my best friend who, fortunately doesn't need to go through the problem versus someone who is also injecting herself every morning, who's also going through all the operations and the procedures, who's also going through the uncertainties. And I just want to know already, going through the blood test and trying to find out. It's just different when you talk to them. And we just want to give that space so that we know how hard the journey is. So we want to give that. Maybe you will still have your shadows, but hopefully with our charity or FSS being there, it lightens the shadow a little bit. It's not so dark,
It's nice to have a community for someone to go and to know that, hey, there's people with me. With me on the way, I'm not alone.
Yes,
right?
Correct.
Because it was lonely for me. Going through there. And at 20, where was I going to go?
Yeah. Do you still find that this shadow sneaks up on you once in a while as you're going through your day-to-day lives? Like you get reminded of your mom or...
I think I kind of like, weirdly enough, condition myself to like, it's like to kind of like it's always there.
You've become comfortable with
so
your
that
shadow.
So they won't surprise me anymore. Like suddenly something reminds me of my mother, then I just suddenly like go into this 5 minutes of like, it's more like I feel like, I just, like you said, my shadow is there all the time. It's just there. It's like,
It really sounds like you have a very healthy relationship with your shadow. I would say I have a toxic relationship. You are in a healthy relationship with your shadow, and I'm in a toxic one. So help me. How do I get to that?
I don't know actually. I think it was just more of like,
it sounds like acceptance.
Yeah, acceptance.
Yeah, you it sounds like you have accepted that, hey, shadow bro, you're gonna be here. And
looks like we're in this together forever.
Yeah. Whereas for me, I'm kind of like, please stay away from me. I don't want you to
I see.
Because even now, like whenever I hear someone getting pregnant, I still get triggered. Even though I have 3 kids, and I still get triggered because I think, wow, they can just have sex and they can probably have a baby. For me, I cannot.
Right.
I can't. I need to go to the hospital. I need to sign document and then I can potentially have one. So that whenever I get triggered, I'm like, hey, this shadow, please go away. Like, I don't want to get triggered. Whereas for you, it sounds like you're very comfy.
Yeah, for me, I don't know whether it's called trigger, but it's more like when people complain about their mothers and who are still living everything. Then I will just like,
I totally get that.
I will just drop well, at least your mother's still around.
Do you actually say that?
Yeah. Sometimes it gets very extreme, right? When they complain, when they say, my mother's, and I'm like, well, at least you have a mother to argue with. Next time they will look at you like, oh yeah, Ben's mother. Okay.
Yeah. No, it's completely the same for me, Ben. Like when, especially even now, I cannot stand it when people complain about their kids. I mean, I know I'm not a saint either. I do like quibble, not complain, but I do have my bad days and good days as a mom. But, imagine you are like going through all these like surgeries and operations, and then you go to the office pantry and you hear some so-and-so complaining about his or her monkeys at home and all that. And I'm like, hey, at least you but I didn't dare to say something. Yes. I just like, okay. But inside I'm like, wow, you don't know how lucky you are.
It's like, hello. Yeah. It's like, I can imagine.
Yeah. So you do get triggered when, like not triggered, but you do like find that shadow getting darker. Of course, it will never go away. Yeah.
And I don't know, I think after 13 years learning to live with it, I'm okay with it. It's like, all the analogies, right? Like, when a vase is broken, but then you stitch it back together, but then the tape, you have to tape it out, and the tape will always be there. but it looks like the same vase. I'm like, but yeah, so living with the tape lah.
You have inspired me to have a more healthy relationship with I do still go to therapy.
Right.
I do still talk to my inner monster. I call it my inner creatures, like
Nice.
probably my shadows. But yeah, I think I need to start accepting my shadows and accepting that it's always going to be there, like what you said.
But yeah, I mean, thanks for sharing. You know, one big takeaway from this conversation is you helping me actually realize the relationship I have with my shadow. Because I mean, I've described it as many things, right? Like, oh, it's always there, it's always in me, it's part of me. But yeah, I love this shadow and energy. Like, it's my shadow. It's a silhouette of me, but it's just the darkness that I've experienced, and it's my foundation.
And I would like to thank you for enlightening to me that the shadow is, firstly, by acknowledging that a shadow will always be there. And it's a question of when it will come out during the day, right? And also having that preparedness for when it does come out. Yeah, so what I learned from you today is I don't always need to run away from my shadow, and I cannot live in a life where I don't want to have any shadows in it, because there will always be shadows. So thank you, wise Ben, for
thank you.
For all your everything that you've gone through has brought you here today, and for sharing that perspective, because I think we're quite different people and we've gone through similar experiences, but we are quite different.
Right.
And I've always kind of admired people who could see this darkness in such positive light.
Or, even like know the darkness, to know our darknesses, to know our shadow. I think that's a very deep thing, and I'm glad that we both know our shadow.
Yeah. Amazing. Thank you, Ben.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us in today's episode of Clean Your Toilet. I think we both cleaned our toilets quite a bit today.
Sweet, very clean.
And I think if I could wrap up something that speaks to both our conversations is the transformation starts with inner work. I think both of us are going to have a different conversation with our shadows after this session. So yeah, we hope we've inspired you to take the first step